Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment. One of my favorites. Thank you so much for coming in. I love this money stuff. It's so interesting to me. Stuff we need to know. And today's question is a doozy, okay? Long-term care. How do I plan for the potential cost? What are the probabilities? That is a really good question because we are aging every minute of every day, and there's a huge population, the boomers particularly, getting older and not really planning for this sort of thing. What do you say about that?
That's exactly right. What you need to do is you need to arm yourself with facts. You need to know what the costs are. You need to know what's the likelihood that I'm going to end up in care. Well, I've done lots and lots and lots of research this week on this topic. I've probably taken a dozen questions from viewers wanting to know either what do I do for myself or what do I do for my parents? They're approaching that right now, and I'm trying to figure out how do I get a plan for what I'm going to do. Well, the probability, statistics vary. You might say there's a 0 to 100% chance you're going to need it.
Yeah.
So it varies from 35% to 70%.
Okay.
So there's a 50-50 chance you're going to need care.
Of some kind.
Now, and whether that's in-home health care or long-term care is really dependent on your condition.
Right.
And and then it's going to be dependent on your financial ability and things like that. So let's dive into it. 43% of residents right now are under age 65. So that's a very important figure, and I'll tell you why in a minute. 3.9 years is the average stay in a long-term care facility at a current cost in Missouri of just a little bit over $5,000 a month. Right, a little over $60,000 a year. The national average is about $73,000 a year. So you certainly don't want to go into nursing care in the Northeast because it's $160,000 a year.
Oh my gosh.
So again, it is a national crisis. It's a looming problem that every one of us are going to be faced with.
Yeah, because what do you do with mom and dad if they can't care for themselves and you can't care for them? I mean, this is the thing to think about, much less yourself.
If you're going to leave them at home and you're going to pay somebody to come in and care for them, it's going to run you about $20 an hour right now. Now, we got to remember inflation, cost of living, also applies to the cost of care. Nursing home increases right now range from 3 to 5% per year. So we have a continually increasing cost, and we have millions of people aging, all right? So now, 62.3% of the cost right now is covered by Medicaid.
But you have to qualify.
But in order to qualify for Medicaid, you have to be impoverished. So again, and then what's the stability of Medicaid? It's all based on funding. So there, again, a looming crisis. 68% of people age 65 will have a cognitive impairment before death that's going to require some type of care.
Alzheimer's, dementia, something.
Something, whether that's in-home health care, assisted living, or skilled long-term care. So again, the statistics prove that it's very likely, based on longevity, based on medical technology, we are living longer.
Right. Okay, so we got about a minute. What do we do? Because now we're all scared to death. So tell us what to do about it.
12 million people are going to be in nursing homes by the year 2020. 92% of Americans do not have a plan. So here's why. The average cost is $3,400 a year for long-term care insurance. The average age of that policy is 7.4 years because it's obvious people can't afford it. So don't buy anything you can't afford.
So they give that up.
There are ways to handle planning. Will was talking about estate planning.
Will Worsham, right.
Through estate planning techniques and a combination of either long-term care insurance or life insurance with living benefits, and a combination of those things, we can develop a plan. It is a crisis that we have to address as a nation. And if you don't think that you're going to be faced with it, just look at your neighbors, look at your family, look at your parents, and consider yourself.